Okay, so Women's March Madness.
Yeah.
It's really feeling different this year.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
not just
the energy,
rules.
yeah. And everyone is just glued to it, and I think we all really want to, like, understand what's going on beyond just the headlines.
Right, exactly. Like you're looking for that deep dive into the tournament
Yeah.
that started on March 19th. And we have it for you.
Yes.
We've got all those insights and key storylines.
Yeah, forget having to scroll through all those articles.
Right.
We're giving you the need to know.
Exactly.
So you can be totally in the know without having to do all the work.
The express lane to Women's March Madness knowledge.
Okay, so I guess like a good place to start is just like the tournament structure, because that single elimination format, really has a huge impact on how these games play out.
Right, single elimination. What's the impact of that?
I mean, it's like every game is so important.
Oh, yeah.
Because one loss and you're out.
Absolutely. It's like
there's no second chances.
You're playing for your life every single game.
Right, and I think that's why we see those crazy finishes and those big upsets.
Heart-stopping moments.
Yeah, and the tension is so high.
That unpredictability is what makes it so captivating.
Yeah.
You really don't know who's going to come out on top.
Right, and then as the tournament goes on, there are some key dates we need to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
So the first and second rounds, those are done.
Yeah, those wrapped up on March 25th.
Yeah, and now coming up, we've got the Sweet 16.
The Sweet 16, March 28th and 29th.
Yeah.
Followed by the Elite Eight.
Elite Eight.
March 30th and 31st.
Yep, and then, of course, everything leads to the Final Four.
All roads lead to Tampa, Florida for the Final Four on April 4th, and then the championship game April 6th.
Right, so it's heating up.
Oh, absolutely. The journey is well underway.
And we already have some really interesting storylines.
Yeah, some major talking points.
Yeah, the biggest one I think that everyone is talking about is that decision to make UCLA the No. 1 overall seed over South Carolina.
I mean, that really ignited a firestorm.
Yeah, it really did.
Of debate and discussion.
And South Carolina, they had a fantastic season.
They did. I mean, 32 wins.
32-1.
And only one loss to a very strong LSU team.
Yeah, so what made them not the No. 1 seed?
Right. What were those factors?
What went into that decision?
Yeah.
UCLA also had a good year, but they did have 3 losses.
Right. And for some analysts, that difference in the loss column was a big factor.
Yeah, it does kind of make you wonder what the selection committee is prioritizing.
Yeah, what criteria are they using?
Yeah, because it's not always just about wins and losses, is it?
It's not just about the record.
Right, and some analysts are even saying that this was one of the most surprising seeding choices in years.
Really just emphasizing how unusual and how much debate it sparked.
Yeah, and so that puts UCLA under the microscope now.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is going to be watching to see
if they can live up to that number 1 seed.
Yeah.
With those 3 losses.
Yeah, but then on top of all of that, we're seeing all these new players really come onto the scene.
The emergence of fresh talent.
Yeah, and that's always so exciting.
Absolutely.
But we still have the big names.
We still have our perennial stars like Caitlin Clark, Paige Bakers.
Yeah, they're still there.
They're still shining, but yeah, it's so exciting to see these new players.
Yeah, and I think the biggest story so far has to be Paula Suarez.
Oh, from George Mason?
Yeah, she's leading the tournament in scoring.
That's incredible.
And she was unranked.
Unranked. I mean, what a Cinderella story.
Yeah, like how does that happen?
What contributes to a player like that having such a breakout performance?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to have the talent.
Right.
But then also maybe the right opportunity.
The opportunity.
To really showcase what you can do.
Yeah. And maybe a favorable matchup or
a
team dynamic that really allows her strengths to shine through.
And she's got the confidence.
Oh, yeah.
She's not afraid of the moment.
Yeah, you can just see it in her game.
Yeah, and then there's Madison Booker at Texas.
Oh, my goodness.
She's just a freshman.
Just a freshman, and she's dominating the paint.
Yeah, and people are already comparing her to Breanna Stewart.
Yeah, those comparisons to a WNBA legend like that really underscores the impact she's having.
I mean, what does that say about the future of the game?
It's incredibly exciting to see such young talent coming in and making such a big impact.
Yeah, and that's what's so great about this tournament. You see these players who have never heard of.
Right.
And then suddenly they're
household names.
Yeah, and then you have Amaya Brown from Duke.
Oh, Amaya Brown, she's incredible.
Those clutch 3-pointers.
Yeah, she just seems to have ice in her veins when it comes to hitting those crucial shots.
Yeah, and she's been so important for Duke's run.
Absolutely. Her performance has been vital to their success.
I mean, what's it like as a player to be able to stay calm and perform under that kind of pressure?
That's a great question, and I think it speaks to their mental fortitude.
Yeah.
As much as their skill, that ability to perform under pressure, to embrace those high-stake moments.
Right.
That's what separates the great players from the good players.
Yeah, and I think that's why these emerging stars are so exciting.
Absolutely.
Because they're showing us that they have what it takes.
Yeah, they have that quality, and it's just so fun to watch.
And, on top of the individual storylines, it also just adds to the unpredictability of the entire tournament.
It really does. You have these players who can be the X factor in those potential upsets that we always see.
Right. Which brings us to the upsets.
Yes, the upsets.
I mean, everyone loves a Cinderella story.
Absolutely. That's what March Madness is all about.
Yeah, those lower-seeded teams knocking off the favorites.
Defying the odds?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And this year, there are a couple of teams that people are saying could make a run.
Yeah, a couple of teams that analysts are highlighting as potential disruptors.
Yeah, so first up you have South Dakota State, the 12 seed.
South Dakota State, what stands out about them?
Well, they're on a 19-game winning streak.
19 games.
Which is huge.
Yeah, that's serious business.
Yeah, and they're not just squeaking by. They're winning convincingly.
Yeah.
With strong three-point shooting and really aggressive defense.
I mean, that sounds like a dangerous combination for any higher seed.
Yeah, they're really tough magic for anyone they come up against.
And most analysts believe that they have a very real chance of upsetting a number 5 or even a number 4 seed.
Yeah.
I mean, their current form and their playing style make them a very tricky opponent.
Okay. And then there's Fairleigh Dickinson University.
FDU.
FDU, the no, 15 seed.
Number 15 seed. Talk about a team with serious momentum heading into the tournament.
Yeah, they had 22 wins in a row.
22 consecutive wins? That's incredible.
Yeah, before the tournament.
Yeah.
And they play a really fast-paced game.
Yeah?
Lots of energy.
A high-energy style of basketball, which can really throw off teams that prefer a more controlled tempo.
Yeah, so they're going to be a tough game for TCU.
Yeah, they do face a significant challenge in their upcoming game against TCU, who's a number 2 seed.
Right.
But that winning streak and their playing style definitely make it a game to watch.
Yeah. Could we see a major upset?
You never know.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this tournament.
Anything can happen.
Right. So speaking of must-watch games, there's a couple coming up that are really interesting.
We've got some great matchups on the horizon.
Yeah. So first up, we have North Carolina.
North Carolina.
The no 3 seed.
And number 3 seed.
Against Oregon State, the no 14 seed.
Okay, a 3-14 matchup. What makes this one so compelling?
Well, North Carolina is known for their defense.
They have a really tough, stifling defense.
Yeah, they can really shut down opposing offenses.
They can lock teams down?
Yeah, but then on the other hand, you have Oregon State, who are amazing three-point shooters.
Yeah, they have the ability to get hot from beyond the arc.
Yeah, so it's really a question of can North Carolina's defense stop those three-pointers?
Right, can they neutralize Oregon State's shooters?
Yeah, or will Oregon State be able to hit enough threes to pull off the upset?
It's a classic clash of styles.
Yeah.
A fantastic tactical battle to anticipate.
Okay, and then the other one to watch is TCU.
TCU.
The no 2 seed.
The number 2 seed.
Against Fairleigh Dickinson, the no 15 seed.
Right, the 15 seed with that incredible 22-game winning streak.
Yeah, I mean, going into a game like that with that much momentum has to give them a ton of confidence.
Absolutely, a team riding that kind of wave of positive results.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have a psychological advantage.
Yeah.
Even going up against a highly ranked team like TCU, that momentum can be a powerful force.
Yeah, it's that classic underdog story that everyone loves.
It's captivating.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of the storylines happening on the court.
Yeah.
But I think it's also important to talk about the bigger picture.
The overall landscape of women's college basketball?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like the sport is exploding in popularity.
Oh, it's undeniable. The profile and the popularity of women's college basketball, particularly March Madness, has just skyrocketed in recent years.
Yeah. Why is that?
What factors are driving this increased attention?
Well, I think you can really see it in the viewership numbers.
The numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, and people are saying that this year could be record-breaking.
Yeah, the anticipation for record-breaking viewership is palpable.
Yeah, and if you look at last year, the 2024 championship game had over 10 million viewers.
Yeah.
Which was the highest ever for a women's tournament game.
The highest ever. That's a clear indicator of this growth.
And I think that success just kind of feeds into itself.
Right. It creates a cycle. Increased viewership leads to more media coverage, which in turn attracts more sponsors.
Yeah. And I think a big part of that growth
Yeah.
is because of stars like Caitlin Clark.
Oh, absolutely.
And Angel Reese.
Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese.
Yeah, they're drawing in fans, even people who don't normally watch basketball.
Yeah, they've transcended the sport.
Yeah, and then of course you have to talk about NIL.
NIL, name, image, and likeness.
Yeah, that's really changing things.
Oh, it's been a game changer for student athletes, particularly for elite players.
Yeah, how so?
Well, they can now earn income through sponsorships.
Right.
They can build their brands
Yeah.
and capitalize on their achievements in ways that weren't possible before.
Right, and we're talking about some serious money here.
Yeah, we are.
You know, Caitlin Clark's NIL deals are worth over $3 million.
$3 million, that puts her in a completely different financial realm.
Yeah, I mean, what does that do to the sport?
Well, I think it has multiple effects for the individual athletes. It provides financial security and recognition for their talent.
Yeah.
But more broadly, it elevates the entire profile of women's college basketball.
Yeah.
It makes it a more attractive avenue for young athletes,
Yeah.
and it fuels its growth and competitiveness.
Okay, so we've covered a lot.
We have.
What are the key takeaways here for our listeners?
Well, the tournament is in full swing.
Yeah.
And it's living up to the hype.
Yeah.
We have a controversial #1 seed in UCLA.
Yeah.
We're seeing the rise of new stars.
Yeah.
Like Paula Suarez, Madison Booker, and Amaya Brown.
Yep.
Alongside our established stars like Caitlin Clark and Paige Buchers.
Right, and then we have these potential Cinderella stories.
Yeah, keep an eye on South Dakota State and Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah.
Those are teams to watch.
Yeah, and all of this is happening.
Yeah.
Against this backdrop of huge growth in the sport.
Absolutely. You know, record viewership, increased media attention, and the impact of NIL.
Yeah, the 2025 Women's NCAA tournament is shaping up to be a historic one.
I think it will be. It really feels that way.
Yeah. So I guess as you continue watching the tournament, think about this.
Yeah.
Who is your Cinderella team?
Right. Who are you rooting for?
Yeah. And how do you think all this attention and the NIL deals are going to impact the future of women's basketball?
That's a great question. Something to ponder.
Yeah, because it's only going to get bigger from here.
It really feels that way.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned, everyone, because
it's going to be exciting.
March Madness is just getting started.
Yes.